Welcome to the Household Manual. This is where we talk through simple systems that keep a household running when life feels expensive, exhausting, or unpredictable. This channel exists because most household advice assumes stability, stable income, stable schedules, stable energy, stable mental space, and that assumption breaks the moment real life shows up. What works in calm seasons often collapses under pressure. And when that happens, people don't think the system failed, they think they failed. Most households don't struggle because people don't care or aren't trying hard enough. Most people are already doing everything they reasonably can. They are thinking constantly, adjusting constantly, compensating constantly. The problem is not the effort. The problem is that most households are trying to run systems designed for ideal conditions while living in constrained ones. Pressure changes everything. Money stress changes how decisions are made. Fatigue changes how much complexity can be tolerated. Time pressure changes what actually matters. A system that requires calm to function is not a reliable system. One of the biggest mistakes people make is treating the household like a project instead of a system. Projects are designed to be completed. Systems are designed to keep running. When you treat the household like a project, you're always trying to catch up, get ahead, or finish something. You're waiting for the day when everything is finally done and you can relax. But households don't finish. They operate every day, regardless of whether conditions are good or bad. That difference matters more than most people realize because it changes what success even looks like. Success is not finishing everything. Success is keeping the household functional without burning everyone out. A functional household system only has to do three things. First, it has to maintain availability. That means food, basic supplies, and access to what you need without daily scrambling. Second, it has to protect capacity. That means energy, sleep, and mental margin are not constantly being drained just to survive the week. Third, it has to reduce decision making. That means you are not resolving the same problems every single day. When those three things are intact, the household feels manageable. When one collapses, stress increases. When two collapse, people feel behind. When all three collapse, everything feels chaotic, even if nothing dramatic is happening. Most household stress lives right there, not in lack of effort, but in the system failure. When availability collapses, people panic. When capacity collapses, people burn out. When decision making collapses, people feel overwhelmed even on quiet days. And here's the part most advice misses. When households feel stressed, overwhelmed, or behind, the advice they're given almost always adds more decisions instead of removing them. New planners, new routines, new systems to manage the system. Those things feel helpful because they give the illusion of control. They create movement. They create activity. But they don't reduce the load. They relocate it. This is why adding planners, apps, schedules, and new routines often make things worse instead of better. Those tools increase complexity. They add steps. They create more decisions. They make people feel productive without actually making the household more functional. A household under pressure does not need more tools. It needs fewer decisions. When I talk about systems that hold under pressure, I'm talking about things that remove decisions entirely, not tools that ask you to manage them. That distinction matters. Because a managed household feels busy, fragile, and mentally loud. A systemized household feels quieter even when life is hard. Let me make that concrete. In a managed household, every meal requires a decision. Every day requires negotiation. Every problem has to be solved again from scratch. You're always deciding what to cook, when to clean, what to deal with next, and what can wait. In a systemized household, those decisions have already been made, not perfectly, but sufficiently. Meals repeat, defaults exist. Certain things happen automatically even when energy is low. Not because people don't care, but because the system carries the load instead of the people. This is why stable household systems are boring on purpose. They repeat meals. They limit choices. They rely on defaults instead of creativity. Not because people are lazy, but because repetition protects capacity. A system that depends on inspiration, variety, or motivation will eventually collapse. A system that works automatically will carry you through hard seasons. This is also why households often feel like they're doing everything right and still feel exhausted. They are managing constantly, but nothing is removing decisions. They are tracking, adjusting, optimizing, and compensating, but the mental load never gets lighter. Systems that actually work under pressure feel almost unimpressive from the outside. They look plain. They look repetitive. They look unoptimized. But they hold. The goal of a household system is not to impress anyone. It's not to look organized. It's not to be optimized. The goal is to keep life from sliding sideways when pressure hits. If your household can feed itself, rest, and make fewer decisions on hard days, it is working. That's the standard we will use here. In this channel, we're not chasing perfect routines or aesthetic productivity. We're building systems that work when money is tight, energy is low, and everything feels heavier than it should. In the next episode, we'll talk about the one-page weekly reset that keeps this kind of system running without burnout. Use what fits, leave what doesn't, and I'll see you next Monday.